Hey everyone, and welcome to the Stories of Weird podcast, the live video podcast where weird people give weird commentary about weird things. I'm your host, Weston, joined by your lovely and amazing co-hosts, Victoria and Corey. What, Corey, was that too much energy for you? Are you too tired? Too much energy?
No, I think there was a bowel movement in just that. Oh, my lovely co-host.
My lovely
Yeah, that's what I
co-host.
was hearing. Oh, I was like, all right.
Now,
Well,
before we get started, I just wanted to, hold on one second. I just realized I had my audio going I'm actually, since I'm watching the podcast, making sure it's all good. So anyway, what I wanted to mention real quick was that if you don't have time to watch our podcast, you can now download the MP3 version of our 3 most recent episodes on our SoundCloud. I made a SoundCloud profile for us, so that's soundcloud.com/Ean Productions. And I will have that link in the description soon enough. And also, I don't know if you've noticed from our new graphic, we have a little new graphic that says, Your Weird Question. Victoria, would you like to explain what that little graphic means?
So this little graphic asks your weird question and is our way of interacting with you, our viewer, on a little bit more of an intimate and closer basis as much as we can over the internet. So we pose a question to you that is somewhat related to the stories that we'll be telling later on in the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And for instance, this one is, if I do remember correctly, I don't have the graphic up. I'm a bad co-host.
I can pull it up.
But yeah, if you'd pull that up, that'd be great.
Okay. All right. So our question for this episode is, what was your weirdest car experience?
Yeah. So your weirdest experience involving a car, around a car, in the car, whatever preposition that you like to put with your car.
Yeah, I don't know what prepositions are, so just try to guess.
Weston. So, yes, but it's our way of wanting to get to interact with you guys a little bit more because I can't just pop my head 3D through the TV and we're on TV.
Not
through
yet.
the computer.
Maybe next year.
And say, hey, what do you think? So this is our way of connecting with you guys. A little bit of that social media thing going on while we're live at 5 on YouTube.
True that. Yep, and then so as she's saying, we will be talking about the answers at the end of the podcast after our stories, and we'll be looking at your answers, if there are any, and of course going through our own answers ourselves. And with that, let us get into our stories. Now, I realize we actually didn't come up with an order today. We kind of just went straight for it. So any takers? Any takers want to go first?
Well, actually, the graphic that you made that was our little thumbnail, we could go by that.
I don't even have that pulled up, I don't think. Oh, yeah, no, I do.
Well, let me tell you that it goes machete, car, and the other one.
Isn't that more of a cleaver?
Oh, I'm sorry. Meat cleaver,
Thank
10-year-old
you.
in a car, and I can't remember. What's yours, Weston? I'm terrible.
You mean, wait, mine is the
mine.
meat cleaver. His is the one you're talking about.
Okay, so I'm going in the middle. Y'all figure out who's going first and third.
Corey, would you like to go first?
no, you can go first.
Well, I thank you for volunteering me. I appreciate that.
Oh, and by the way, welcome back, Corey. You were missed.
Yes. So, were you able to get in the front pages for weird news at all in the last couple weeks?
It's very possible. I wouldn't have doubted it.
Fair enough. Okay, so I guess I'll start us off, and I'm going to call our story, or the story that I'm going to be talking about, as Cleavers Are Great for Robbing Banks. Wait, no, they're not. That is mine. So in today's, modern age, we live in a society where, you can't just walk into a bank and, do like the old Western, run in there, throw a bandana on, shoot your pistols, or, even like the good old running guns with like Bonnie and Clyde or something like that. Because, generally with technology, you got banks with pretty elaborate security systems. You got cameras, guards, bulletproof glass, just for starters, tripwires if you watch like Mission Impossible or something. And, well, apparently, if you guys haven't heard about this story earlier, someone from Jiaozuyi in China didn't get that memo about, high-tech banks that are super secure. And, or if he did get that memo, he just was looking for something to do on Sunday. So, hold on, let me pull up that GIF right now. I sent you guys the GIF as well.
Yes.
So, what you are watching right now is a GIF of a guy with a meat cleaver pushing it against like the protective,
Bulletproof glass.
bulletproof glass. And then this bank teller, this is at a bank, obviously, this is a bank in China, and this teller is just, she turns around thinking, like, she's just like, this guy, this guy has this cleaver. What is he gonna do? And it's obviously been super huge in the last. I think it happened this Sunday, so it's been up since Sunday, and it's just blown up since then.
Did you see that he's on his phone?
He is on his phone. That is true. He's on his cell phone.
He called his mom. He's like, "Mom, they're not taking me seriously. You told me they'd take me seriously.
Right.
I brought this to rob the bank to help you, and now they're not taking me seriously."
He's waiting for the power-ups to start on the meat cleaver, and it's supposed to blast through the glass.
I honestly, it's almost like somebody's telling him to do it, like he's being punked. He's just like, he's on the phone, right? He's like, okay, now what do I do? Okay, all right, and I hold the, okay, yeah, nope, they're all laughing at me. Yeah. Oh my god, like he gets like knocked out by the guy. Also, can you just say a little bit of unnecessary force on him? Like, I understand he has a meat cleaver, but the guy is clearly not at all. He just did not seem to pose a threat.
No, he's not. There's nothing aggressive about the way he's looking, or he's not even looking at her. He's just on his phone. He's looking away.
And I don't know. It's like, why don't you try to rob a Benihana's next time, honey? Like, that at least matches the theme, you know?
And at least cook your food while you're there,
Right. I just...
Imagine that 911 call. "Oh, this guy came. He fucking our meat. He cut all our meat."
We wanted it diced, not shredded. He shredded. Yeah, just... That's the kind of turmoil you want to see if a meat cleaver is used in any type of crime at all.
True.
I mean...
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure
I just...
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
So as you were saying, Victoria, so later in this GIF is only showing so much, but after there's a full video that you can see. I'll try to link it in the description. What happens is that obviously these security guys take the guy's meat cleaver and just pound him into the ground. Pretty much, it's like they really get on him. And as you're saying, did it seem like unnecessary force? Maybe, but to walk into a bank with a weapon, unnecessary force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I try not to make generalizations about single individuals,
I don't know. I just
I just said China as like all general. Aren't they normally like super
aggressive?
Like they beat the shit out of... Yeah.
I've been to China, but I didn't see a lot of that when I went. So maybe not.
I've been to China too, but yeah, that's true. I don't think I ever saw anyone get the crap beat out of them there.
Actually, what's funny?
Try bringing a meat cleaver to a bank next time. See what happens.
I've been to China, and when I was in China, it was really neat because they weren't as aggressive as you think. So when I went, I was in a restaurant and it was just the best food I've had in a long time. I had Chinese beer. That was neat.
Oh.
And then, you would think that they would be a little bit more aggressive, but they were just really, really pushing the whole come back to Walt Disney World's Epcot thing. And I was like, I'm not sure. I just love how interested you guys were, and then I threw that out, and Corey's just like,
I was like, no.
Everybody come in. It's family time.
Yeah. So sorry, it was just great because that was just Corey. I've missed you. I needed this reaction. But anyways, no, I digress. I mean, you're watching it, and the guy's on the phone, and then suddenly out of nowhere, there's just a cop that takes him down.
Yep.
So, just beautiful.
And obviously, what probably a lot of you are thinking is, so was this guy mentally ill? Was it a prank? What was it? So what's believed to be the case is that he was mentally ill and he just walked in there.
See, I think that on the other phone, they had his wife kidnapped. He's like, "I'm doing it. I'm going to rob this bank.
I will find you and I will kill you."
Right? And he's got to rob the bank
taken.
in order to get his...
Oh, I'm sorry. I almost said Chinese takeout, and that would have been even funnier. I'm done. Don't let me near this. No.
I will find you and bring you orange chicken.
I just...
You're the only one allowed to say that because... Yeah.
Chinese takeout. Oh.
I think watching that woman just turn around and I want to know what else kind of stuff that woman has seen because she's seen some things. If that if she's just like, It's another day at the office. Guy brings a cleaver. You know, I want to know what else she's seen.
Yeah, no biggie, right?
I was wondering if you got on the thing like, there was a guy with a fully automatic cleaver earlier. You think we're afraid of that?
Oh, really? You get me a knife that shoots knives. Okay, bring that back.
Yeah, so, no big deal. But anyway, so that is that meat cleaver story from China that's been going around, and it's pretty weird. So that is my story. So, Victoria, what do you got? You got something about driving, right?
I do have something about driving. Hey, here's your little prodding you guys, the viewers, that weird car experience.
What was your weirdest car experience?
Yeah. So speaking of weird car experiences, now I was a late bloomer when it came to driving. I started driving when I was 18 because I literally lived 2 blocks away from every school that I ever went to. So there was really no point in me learning to drive when, yeah.
I can agree
So anyways,
with that.
yeah. So I've only been driving for going on 6 years now. And, and I'm pretty impressed with myself. I've really never been in a real accident. I mean, I bumped somebody, but,
An actual
that was
person? I mean,
Okay,
if you
no.
hit the car, it's fine. If you
I
hit
bumped
the
them.
Excuse me, I'm
person,
sorry.
I broke
that
I
their
hit the
leg.
car.
They're
accident.
dead.
No, I
Not a
bumped
bad
the car
accident.
and I completely obliterated a guy. There's a difference. You're right. I should check my verbs. In fact, it's so great. He's like the perfect hood ornament. I mean, who knew that my Jetta needed like a small, frail old man?
Oh, yeah.
On the front and the grill.
Really adds to the design. Yeah.
Right.
It's
It
just
just
crazy. The fact is, that bump you keep hitting is like, what keeps going on? But like, you guys you gotta just stay away from those old people homes.
yeah. I just
They get in your
I mean,
way.
there's a lot of speed bumps and they complain a lot.
Yeah.
So no, but I've never driven into a ditch or anything like that. But
That's good.
this particular driver, this guy, he was pulled over after he drove off-roading and kind of just landed the car in a ditch. And so he was pulled over and the officer said, "Your license and registration." And in a very prepubescent voice, this man said, you see, I've got dwarfism and I forgot my license.
Happens to all of us. We all forget our licenses.
Well, and my favorite part is that it was no dwarf, ladies and gentlemen. He was a 10-year-old boy. This is from Norway. So a 10-year-old boy decided to take his parents' car for a joyride last week, I believe. And so he did it again. Excuse me. Excuse me.
That was the second time, or was that his first time?
This is his second offense. All right. So we've got a multiple, vehicular offense here. So they so he'd taken the car and wanted to go visit somebody, and he just went on a drive. So this time he takes the car off, and it was they were at a relative's house, and he takes their car and drives about 20 miles away. And he stops, and the parents realize, oh my God, Junior's out again.
Yeah.
So they call the police, and they're sending messages on Twitter. Norway, I like the way you think. Hashtag 10-year-old not a dwarf. Hashtag child driving.
Yep.
I want to know what that's like. And I wanted to see those tweets. Anyways, they started getting on the traffic radio and going, asking the public for help. And apparently the boy, when he stopped the car, some bystander just came over and took his keys away. And that makes me laugh because I'm going, that's the village kind of parenting where, 10-year-old took the car. Come here, give me your keys. And just I want to see this Norwegian bystander telling this little kid, like, no, it was a bad thing. No, no way here in Norway. And so anyways, so he I guess last week had loaded up his 18-month-old sister into the car and decided he was going to go visit grandma. And
that was sweet of him.
Right. So they lived about 40 miles away. And so he's like, yeah, so we're going to go visit, and he drove the car into a ditch, and it was snowing. So after about 5-6 miles, he drove it into a ditch. And, the police had thought, okay, well, you know what, we'll just this is just the case closed, like your kid did it the first time, whatever.
Yeah,
well, now
right.
they since the kid's done it twice, you're looking at child services. So so
The
CPS
Norwegian version, huh?
The
So it's like
Norwegian version.
The Satan Santa Claus thing comes to your house, and then
Right? Yeah. I'm just thinking with Norway and everything, I'm just going, like what kind? I mean, because all I see is Thor telling his children not to. That's what I see.
You shall
not
drive.
Yes, brother mine. Like
fly
that
with
kind
the
of thing.
hammer.
Right.
I don't know. I just think that it's so horrible that those parents taught their kid how to drive at 10 years old. Like,
Well, and that's the thing. They don't mention in this.
just in case mommy and
in this
daddy are
article.
super drunk and you have to drive us home.
Right. I mean, come on. Okay, now granted, I think they should do that in some of the states here, south. But I'm just saying that I mean, it's kind of creepy. And like they were saying, nobody's injured, but it's like the adults need to take responsibility,
Right. Yeah.
Right.
for this. And I'm thinking of my.
It's called a
my
shock collar that has distance for that kid.
Well,
Can't
like I'm
get
thinking,
so
like
far near that car unless the parent's there.
I'm gonna drive this
like
car.
my key fob right here, right? Like, first of all, like if the kid touches it, if he hits a button, get it to recognize like his touch or whatever, and just and have him like every time he goes for it.
Yeah.
And then when he tries to start the key and like have it come out and like, I don't know, scare him with something, I don't know, but it's like, how does your 10-year-old, like, how small is this car, or how tall is? Well, he's Norwegian. He must be a huge 10-year-old.
He's a Viking.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, he probably, but wait, and then he said he had dwarfism. Now that cracks me up.
Oh yeah.
This kid was smart enough to go, I'm a dwarf, and I forgot my license. So like, I don't know. I feel like him telling the officer.
I got the dwarfism,
See, I just get my kid Xbox and throw him a little Forza. Like you just do that, okay? You just stick with the virtual stuff.
Some Gran Turismo.
Yeah, Gran
Well,
Turismo.
see, and I'm just thinking, like, look, kid, you're gonna learn to drive, okay? First, we're gonna start you with Grand Theft Auto because nobody ever uses the street anyway, and then,
Dum, dum.
right, and then we'll just move you up to Gran Turismo. We'll move you up, and everything, and
Yeah, it's a gradual
I just,
thing.
yeah, I see. If I want to see like kids that take out like their little, the cars that look like smart cars, like that we had when we were kids. Well, I didn't have one, but they're yellow and red, the little tykes or whatever.
Oh, right.
something.
Oh, those little round. Okay, yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah. And just have them take it out. And I want to see like, I want to see that. I want to see a high speed chase with a 10-year-old or a 5-year-old in one of those. And the cops just like, woo, that's what I want. But this kid's, it's pretty ballsy of this kid to go out twice in 2 weeks.
I'd say.
And yeah, I mean, my parents, if I
fits.
thought about anything like that, like they were quick to reprimand me. So I don't know. Pretty weird. I don't know. I think it's weird to me because it's the second time. Like,
First time
deuces.
first time was actually fun. It's fun getting caught by the cops apparently, and then just maybe this time I won't go into a ditch.
is this like Gone in 60 Seconds, Norway? And it's like
Norway.
10-year-old Nick Cage. I don't know. I just
It's possible.
yeah.
Okay.
The kid just goes Eleanor the whole time.
Right. See, now why we can't have nice things here is that if a kid tried to do that, it would be freaking it'd be in the South and it would be all Smokey and the Bandit. Like we would have a kid with a Burt Reynolds mustache
It's possible.
because America.
Cool.
All right,
sorry.
so here's our suggestion of to the parents what they should do: get rid of their car and buy a manual.
Oh, that just what's great is like that inconveniences them, but it also like that is the best anti-theft thing ever, especially here in America, is having manual shift.
Manual.
Yeah, and most people don't even know how to use them.
Yep.
Yep.
Weston doesn't know how to use it.
I was actually training on
No.
my cousin's car, Toyota Corolla '89. Good,
Ooh.
nice car. I know, nice car. And thing was falling apart. You had to shove a shoe to keep it in a higher gear. But yeah, I was learning on there for a while how to drive manual, but I never finished my training, my Jedi training.
Because it only had
I was
first and
gonna
second
say-
gear. That's it.
Well, I had all the gears. You just, when you're on the freeway, you'd have to shove a shoe in there to keep it going in the right speed. Anyway, but yes.
See,
so,
I'm white. Everybody in my family learns on a tractor.
Yeah,
So,
that's
but-
not true.
well, speaking of nice cars, Corey, I believe your story has something to do with has a limo involved somehow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What, a 10-year-old take one of those too?
This time he brought all his friends.
It's about the guy's has about the same intelligence as a 10-year-old.
Fair enough.
So
Well, that's insulting
this
the 10-year-old.
guy, this guy's name is Bong Rip.
It's not his real
Hey.
name, right? That's just his.
No, his name is
Wait,
Mark
Bong rip or bon grip? Because if he's French,
No,
it means good
Bong
grip.
Rip.
Nope,
Bong
he's
Rip.
definitely ripping a bong.
Yes, he's like a giant stoner, and
He smokes marijuana.
I don't. I
Yeah.
think I
Wait,
saw
so
that
that's
he's
like
a,
that's
he's a
something that you can
DJ.
be as a giant stoner.
As opposed to
They-
a small, insignificant
That's his.
stoner.
That's his job. He's a
I'm
giant
surprised
stoner.
because when we took aptitude tests and like to see what kind of things you wanted to be, I know about 15 people that would be making money doing that right now.
There you have it.
So he makes videos, just like us.
Okay.
Makes YouTube videos.
hmm
I think it said that he had 1 million subscribers or 100,000.
Well, I think
Yeah,
there's enough people smoking weed out there that would be interested, right? He's an activist for marijuana, right? He's like pro,
Something like yes. Well, basically, the other day, I think it was actually it's been probably a couple of weeks. Yeah, it's probably been about a week or so. It hasn't been that long.
Okay.
He went to a soup kitchen in a limo with nice clothes,
Yeah.
fully shaven, and went and said he was homeless and stole food from the homeless and got free food. And then he made a video of it. And he basically makes fun of homeless people in it and smokes weed before going and indulging in all this crazy amounts of food and saying that these homeless people live like kings and all this other stuff. So I think it's just horrible. The fact is, like, oh, you show up in a limo and then, hey, I want some free food. Are you homeless? That's what they ask him. Are you homeless? He says, yes, I'm homeless. And they give it to him.
You know, what's interesting is that if you read a little further down the article, he says that he apparently lives in his music studio and his limo, and he crashes at his parents' place. And so he
Right.
says, like, technically, I'm homeless.
Yeah.
He says he gets
Yeah.
yeah.
Technically, it's not assault if he runs into my fist 3 to 17 times. Just
I
saying.
don't know.
That's,
So wait, he stole food from a soup kitchen just
Right.
because?
Well, he
Yeah.
didn't steal. He went in there and just straight up said he's homeless, and they gave him food.
So, not perhaps true intentions, not necessarily stealing.
No, and he just didn't do it in the correct way, and he was just an ass, and everything. It's the video is like 13 minutes long. The guy literally doesn't seem like he even has a high school diploma, but I don't know. Has plenty of YouTube people to watch his videos. Well, because he's trying to legalize drugs and everything else, and just fathoms me.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think. There was something. I think he was even when he's in the video. I was just reading the article. I didn't actually watch the whole video or anything. He was talking about how, like, I wouldn't even eat this stuff anyway because there's so much sodium. They're killing homeless people with sodium.
Yeah. He makes comments like that. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'd rather have food than
Nothing at
care about
all.
how much sodium. And then, then he's saying that some of the food is like crazy good and stuff like that. And it's just one giant video of him just kind of being an ass. And I'm sure he thought at the time, while he was stoned, that was a good idea. Just like every person who ever gets stoned thinks everything they think of is a good idea. It's not.
And then in the video, he mentions that he doesn't have any regrets, right? Like he's just like, there's no
Right. He says that at the end. He doesn't regret doing what he did. I'm just like, ugh.
With the starvation going on in the entire world, not just our own nation, but with starvation factors and everything, that's like me doing that. And that's like the epitome of a first world problem. Oh, I live in my limo. Oh, technically I don't own a house. Oh, I live at my parents'. Guess what? Get over it and don't have to do this stupid crap. Like, that is just so dumb. It is so dumb. And the fact that, like, that he's getting all this attention and that there's idiots out there giving him this attention.
That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. I know.
I think the one of the things that bothered me the most is they gave him toothbrushes and toothpaste, and he was like, "Oh, I got a free toothbrush and I got free toothpaste." I was like, "You don't need that."
No, he doesn't
Yeah.
need any of it.
Yeah.
Technically, I'm homeless. Guess what? Technically, I'm gonna kick your butt.
Rage quit.
But it might be your
Well,
face. I might miss.
I think he lives in Huntington Beach, so we can.
Oh God, no! Don't tell me that because I have an internship out there. Not that I would
Yeah.
actually go and assault somebody, but it's like, really, dude, you have the gall to do that?
They better ask his
You know what?
parents
That's
first.
it. I'm
That's
calling
okay.
up. I'm calling up a 10-year-old. I want him to drive me over there, and yeah, I'm taking a meat cleaver. We'll see what I can do.
Yeah, just make sure there's no, like bulletproof glass in front of you, and you should be okay. You should be able to complete your
I
objective.
don't know, man, because he might be in his limo. I'll just press it up against the window and just be like, my 10-year-old's breaking into your car right now.
I was just gonna say your
Deal
10-year-old
with
is gonna be like Jason Statham in
Yes.
like Transporter. He's gonna be your guy.
Yes, yes.
You're gonna end
He's
up in
gonna
a
have
ditch.
the accent and everything.
Yeah,
In fact, Jason Statham as a 10-year-old. Done.
we're gonna land in a ditch somewhere.
A snowy ditch, and I've got my 18-month-old sister here,
Stop
Scarlett
crying.
Johansson.
Sadly, that Norwegian 10-year-old's probably the same height as Jason Statham. Yeah.
The the Viking
I'm
dwarf.
terrified.
He's probably,
I'm terrified of Viking puberty. Can I just say that? I have a brother who looks like Thor. Like, he is 6'3.5", and he's big. And I'm just going, no, I've seen it, guys, and I'm terrified.
All right, guys. Well, hey, since we've just finished up with our stories, let us talk about the weird question for this episode. Once again, it is, what was your weirdest car experience? Do you guys have any ones that kind of stand out to you right away, or anything in particular that you remember?
Oh, I can say one. I was gonna say another one, but I was like, I'm married.
Okay. Let's stick with the other one then.
He's like, I was 10 years old. I did some
Yeah.
things.
Lots
So
of snow.
when I lived in Columbus, Ohio, which isn't it's not a very safe place.
My dad used to work out there, so I know.
Basically, there was some savory characters while we were parked outside of a liquor store, and they were both on both sides of my car.
Mm-hmm.
They kept looking back and forth at each other like crazy amounts.
Interesting.
And they didn't, they just didn't look like they were very, they probably had jail time.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, one guy just floors in reverse, backs up, blocks me in, jumps out of his car, comes up to my window. I'm rolling it up as quick as possible. I'm freaking out. And the guy comes up there and he goes, "Hey, man, do you listen to rap music?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, here's my CD."
Oh.
I was freaking out. It turned out the guy is like a large name rapper in Columbus. I guess he still is.
Interesting.
But it was just like,
Now
talk
that is
about
something to put on a resume.
scaring the
Well, I'm
piss
big
out
in
of
Columbus,
someone.
Ohio.
Well,
That's
I
just
think
wrong.
he was big out here for a little while too. His name was Little Hollywood, but yeah, I know.
Nice.
Get it?
Nice.
That's beautiful.
Yep. There you go.
Oh.
There's my interesting car story. Thought I was
Okay.
gonna die.
Victoria, do you have one?
Oh, wait. I actually have to add to that.
Oh.
Like 2 seconds before that, my friend who went in the liquor store goes, "Oh yeah, someone got shot right around here like 2 weeks ago for his shoes."
No.
That's just before he hops out of my car and goes in the liquor store. And as that whole thing went down, he was like all hiding in the liquor store, like looking out the window and shit.
It's good to know that you have friends that got your back.
Right.
Corey, you need to come to El Cajon, man. That is every day. That's pretty much like, yeah. So anyways, I'm not saying somebody died here, but I'm not saying they didn't. Just beat it.
Right.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's just so proud of humanity.
Yeah.
Victoria, do you want to go or should I go?
Oh, you go for it, sir.
So the one that first came to mind when I came up with this question was I remembered when I was probably, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years old, and I think I was with my parents. We were just driving probably to like see my grandma or something, and it was pretty late. Like, I don't know, it was dark, so maybe 5, 6, pretty early still. And I remember there was this limo, and I saw what looked to be a woman on. The limo was moving, and it was on the freeway. And there was a woman that was out of the, like the top windows, the ceiling, moonroof kind of thing. And
Sunroof, yeah.
She was not wearing anything.
I was wondering where this was going to go, and it went exactly where I hoped it would.
Yep. It was just her showing what God gave her, or a plastic surgeon from Southern California gave her.
Oh, well, there you go.
So you were what, 7 or 8? You said
I was pretty young. Yeah.
Well, was it worth her doing that? Like, I mean, aesthetically.
I was to say, for me at that time, no. I mean, probably if you'd have to ask her if that was worth it for her. I don't know. She's having a good time.
Well, I mean,
at this
granted,
point,
she's only going to
probably
see
old and
one
wrinkly.
part of them. She's only going to maybe, I don't know, if she bought them, she probably could like geometrically move them. So I don't know, but
Okay, all right.
right.
Let me just
There's
rearrange
some,
this
like,
real fast.
dodecahedron thing going on.
I'm going for the vertical look.
She might have bought the IMAX experience. I'm not sure.
Before 3D was getting really popular,
Right. So, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna mortify both of you.
Okay.
Because it follows that. It wasn't quite what God gave me, but so Catherine, my best friend, and I were going to I had just interviewed with, I believe, the Disney store. Yeah, it was, and we were going to Disneyland right afterwards.
Yeah.
So because we had something planned, so we were gonna go to Disneyland, stay the night. So it's about 4:00. We're heading on the 5, and we get to. When you go northbound on the 5, you get to San Onofre, and you see you do the whole the checkpoint, right? So they were just waving cars through, but we still had to pause and everything. Well, we were going to go into the park later, so I'm thinking, okay, we'll get there around 7. I should probably put on some jeans because I didn't want to be in my my interview clothes anymore because it was a hot day.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to do this. So we're in Catherine's little Honda Civic, and she's moseying along, and then we get to the checkpoint. And I've only made it halfway out of my interview clothes. I've got a shirt on and everything, right? I've got my t-shirt. And then so we're in the line, and there's this big semi next to us. And of course, being in a Honda, and you have the semi, there's like this great look for the poor older trucker as he's looking into the car. And Catherine's telling me, she goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I just need to put on some jeans, all right? I'm uncomfortable. I need this." And she goes, and she's in the driver's seat, and she's like, this is daylight. People are going to be able to see you. And I'm like, who's looking into the car? So I shuck my pants, and I am now looking for my jeans because I'm smart and didn't have them in the front seat with me. So I'm moving around in the front seat, and I'm turning around, and I'm looking in the back seat for them.
Yeah.
And I whip around, and I get my feet into my jeans, and there was a car that honked behind us, but they weren't honking at us directly. They were honking at the semi because the poor old trucker man, like we're talking maybe 60.
Sweet.
Is just the whole time has been staring at me, and it's been like, it was like he was rooting for me to find my pants. It wasn't even like, wow, that girl is just wearing her underwear and a
I know
shirt.
she can find
No.
them. I see them.
He's just like, I mean, he almost was just like, you can do it. Like, he was just, the minute I put my jeans on, made eye contact, he was all, yeah, and then he drove away. And so to this older trucker man, that was 5 years ago, I just want to say thank you, because I've never blushed that hard ever. And apparently when you do, like, when you're so embarrassed, you will turn red everywhere. So as I was pulling on my jeans, I was just like, wow, this is embarrassing. And Catherine has not let me live it down, because she's the only person I know who can get dressed while driving. So, you know, I can't even do it without being looked at. But yeah, so that would probably be my weirdest experience so far in a car, personally, like with me. So
Fun.
yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Well, there you guys have it. Got some pretty weird car experiences.
We went from attempted murder to, like, with Corey, like almost murder, to boobies, to Victoria putting on her pants. There's just a downhill slide with this whole thing, isn't there?
Well, anyway, that is just about it for us time-wise. So, guys, thank you for watching and joining us for this podcast. Of course, please join us next week. We go live every Thursday at 5 p.m. PST, and of course, we would love to have you. Love to get your comments, and so we can discuss it as we're doing it live. Of course, once again, if you don't have the chance to watch future podcasts all the way through, just download our MP3 version of our three most recent on our SoundCloud profile. And I think that is about it. Any closing thoughts from you guys?
Don't steal things from soup kitchens, or I will change my pants in front of you.
Wow. Okay.
I couldn't think of anything more mortifying than that. So,
Anything you good, Corey?
Yeah, I'm good.
Cool. All right. Well, then, until next week, we'll see you guys later, and stay weird.
bye, guys.
Yeah.
See ya.